The moment Eala walked into Kaseya Center, the home of the Miami Heat, she wasn't just another celebrity guest, she was family. Erik Spoelstra, the championship-winning head coach who has led the Heat to 3 NBA titles and is the first Asian American to ever win an NBA championship, saw the 20-year-old Filipino walk through the doors and immediately greeted her like a long-lost relative. But what happened next left everyone speechless. In a moment captured by Heat cameras and shared with millions, Spoelstra didn't just pose for photos or exchange pleasantries. He pulled Eala aside and extended an invitation that no tennis player had ever received, a courtside seat to a Heat playoff game with full VIP access and a promise that when her tournament ends, he'll be in the stands watching her. The NBA and tennis worlds collided in a moment of pure Filipino pride, and fans are still trying to process what just happened.
March 16, 2026. Kaseya Center, Miami. Eala walked through the arena doors exactly 3 years after her first visit, and the weight of how far she'd come was impossible to ignore. Back in 2023, Eala was a 17-year-old prospect ranked outside the top 150, still finding her footing on the professional tour. She attended a Heat game against the New York Knicks, watching from the stands as Erik Spoelstra notched his 700th career coaching victory. She posed for a photo with Spoelstra and Heat star Bam Adebayo, a moment that seemed special at the time, but hardly historic. 3 years later, everything had changed. Eala returned to Kaseya Center as the world number 29, fresh off a round of 16 finish at Indian Wells and preparing to defend her 390 ranking points at the Miami Open, the very tournament that launched her into global stardom. She was no longer a wide-eyed teenager hoping for a glimpse of greatness. She was greatness herself, walking into the arena as one of the most recognizable Filipino athletes on the planet. The Miami Heat, recognizing the moment, captured the reunion and shared it with the world. Just 2 powerhouses repping the Philippines at the highest level, the Heat wrote on social media, alongside a video of the meeting. The post went viral within hours. Filipino fans flooded the comments with messages of pride and admiration. When 2 well-loved Filipino celebrities in sports meet, it's so heartwarming, one fan wrote. Pinoy pride, added another. Elite link-up, commented a third. But what the cameras captured was just the beginning. Behind the scenes, Spoelstra had something special planned for his fellow Filipino icon.
As the cameras rolled and the photos were taken, Spoelstra pulled Eala aside for a private conversation. What he offered her left the 20-year-old speechless. According to sources close to the situation, Spoelstra extended a formal invitation for Eala to attend a Miami Heat playoff game later this spring, not as a regular guest, but with full VIP access, including courtside seats and a behind-the-scenes tour of the Heat organization. But that wasn't all. Spoelstra also made a promise that touched Eala deeply. When her Miami Open campaign concludes, win or lose, he will be in the stands watching her play. The gesture carried profound significance. Spoelstra, who has led the Heat to 3 NBA championships and coached some of the greatest players in basketball history, was signaling that he sees something special in Eala, something worth prioritizing even during the pressure of an NBA playoff run. Fans who learned of the invitation were stunned. "Coach Spo owes you, Alex. He said if you come back next year, he will watch your game," one fan noted, referencing the promise. The invitation represented more than just a nice gesture. It was a recognition that Eala has transcended tennis to become a cultural icon, someone whose presence at an NBA playoff game would generate headlines and draw attention from both sports worlds. For Eala, the moment was overwhelming. "I think the lifestyle I have right now is really crazy and fun," she had said earlier, reflecting on her journey. "We're living out of a suitcase, and they, my parents, are super supportive. I'm really, really grateful." Now, that crazy lifestyle included personal invitations from NBA championship coaches and the kind of crossover recognition that few athletes ever achieve. The reunion between Eala and Spoelstra resonated so deeply because of what both represent: Filipino excellence on the global stage. Spoelstra has long been open about his Filipino heritage. His mother, Elisa Salino, was born in San Pablo City, Laguna, and immigrated to the United States where she met his father, John Spoelstra. Growing up, Spoelstra embraced his Filipino roots, and when he became the first Asian American head coach to win an NBA championship in 2012, he carried that heritage with him onto basketball's biggest stage. Eala, meanwhile, represents a new generation of Filipino sports excellence. She is the first Filipina to crack the WTA Top 30, the first to win a Grand Slam main draw match, the first to reach a WTA 1000 semifinal. Everywhere she plays, thousands of Filipino fans appear, waving flags and chanting in Tagalog, turning tennis tournaments into celebrations of national pride. When players come from countries like the Philippines, the stadium feels like a Davis Cup venue, veteran referee Hani El Hafif observed during Eala's Dubai run. People are cheering for their country, not just for one player. That's what Spoelstra and Eala share, not just Filipino blood, but the weight of representing a nation that rarely sees itself reflected on the world's biggest stages. Spoelstra has carried that weight for 2 decades, winning championships, earning respect, and showing what's possible. Now, Eala carries it too, breaking barriers in a sport where Filipinos have never had a presence. Their reunion wasn't just a photo opportunity, it was a passing of the torch, a recognition that Filipino excellence comes in many forms, on many courts, across many sports.
The reunion came at a pivotal moment for both athletes. For Eala, the timing was critical. She arrived in Miami ranked number 29 in the world, but facing the daunting task of defending 390 ranking points from her magical 2025 semifinal run. Those points will expire the moment she steps on court, and an early exit could send her tumbling back to the 50-60 range. Her first opponent, Laura Siegemund, advanced to the round of 64 with a 6-4, 6-4 victory over Petra Marchenko. The 38-year-old German veteran represents everything dangerous about early round matches: experience, craftiness, and the ability to disrupt rhythm. Win that, and a potential third-round showdown with world number 3 Iga Świątek looms, a rematch of the 2025 quarterfinal where Eala stunned the Polish star. The pressure is immense, but Spoelstra's invitation offered something beyond rankings and points: perspective. Here was a man who has faced the highest pressure in sports, NBA Finals, Game 7s, the weight of championship expectations, reaching out to remind Eala that she belongs, that her journey matters, that win or lose at the Miami Open, she has already achieved something extraordinary. For Spoelstra, the timing was equally significant. The Heat are locked in a tight Eastern Conference race, sitting at 38-30, 7th in the East, and just a half game behind Orlando and Toronto. Bam Adebayo, who first met Eala alongside Spoelstra in 2023, recently erupted for 83 points in a single game, the second highest scoring output in NBA history. The Heat are building momentum toward the playoffs, and yet Spoelstra took time out of his schedule to welcome Eala, to extend an invitation, to make a promise. That's what makes the moment so powerful. In the midst of their own battles, both athletes recognized something bigger than their individual pursuits: the importance of showing up for each other, of representing their shared heritage, of proving that Filipino excellence knows no boundaries.
When the Heat posted the reunion video, the internet exploded. Just 2 powerhouses repping the Philippines at the highest level. Good luck in the Miami Open at alex.eala, the caption read. Within hours, the post had accumulated millions of views, tens of thousands of likes, and comments pouring in from around the world. Filipino fans, already fiercely proud of both athletes, celebrated the moment as validation of everything they've believed. When 2 well-loved Filipino celebrities in sports meet, it's so heartwarming, one fan wrote.
Pinoy pride, added another. Wow, soaring high, Alex, posted a third. But the reaction wasn't limited to Filipino fans. NBA followers who had never heard of Eala suddenly found themselves learning about her journey, her ranking, her historic achievements. Tennis fans who rarely think about basketball discovered Spoelstra's Filipino heritage and his championship pedigree. The crossover moment introduced both athletes to new audiences, expanding their reach and reinforcing the power of representation. Elite link-up, one fan commented simply. Another added, "This is my brand." The enthusiasm reflected something deeper than fandom. It reflected pride, the kind of pride that comes from seeing yourself reflected in places you never expected. For decades, Filipinos have watched sports from the sidelines, rarely seeing athletes who look like them compete at the highest levels. Now, in the span of a few years, they have Eala dominating tennis and Spoelstra coaching in the NBA Finals. They have two powerhouses representing the Philippines at the highest level, supporting each other and celebrating each other's success. That's worth more than any trophy. With the reunion behind her and Spoelstra's invitation secured, Eala now turns her focus to the Miami Open. Her match against Laura Siegemund is scheduled for Thursday, March 19th on center court at Hard Rock Stadium. Tournament director James Blake has made it clear that Eala will play on the biggest stage throughout her campaign, recognizing the international interest she commands. The stakes couldn't be higher. 390 ranking points on the line, a potential Świątek rematch looming, the weight of 115 million people on her shoulders. But Eala has never been one to shrink from pressure. "I've been to the most amazing courts and been able to play in the most amazing atmospheres, like Miami," she said recently. "I've been able to play on Wimbledon center court, which is my dream, and that's been amazing." Now she returns to the court where her dream began, carrying with her the support of a nation and the friendship of a legend. Win or lose, the Spoelstra reunion has already given her something that rankings can't measure: perspective, the knowledge that her impact extends beyond tennis, that she represents something larger than herself, that a three-time NBA champion sees her as a peer. "It doesn't matter if I win the tournament in Miami or if I lose in the first round. I know I'm here and I'm here to stay," Eala said after Indian Wells. Those words resonate even more now, because thanks to Spoelstra's invitation, thanks to the warmth of that reunion, thanks to the millions of Filipinos cheering her on, Eala knows exactly where she belongs. Not just on center court, not just in the top 30, but among the powerhouses repping the Philippines at the highest level. Eala just received an invitation that no tennis player has ever received: a courtside seat to a Miami Heat playoff game with full VIP access from championship coach Erik Spoelstra himself. The reunion at Kaseya Center, 3 years after their first meeting, captured the hearts of millions and proved that Filipino excellence knows no boundaries. Spoelstra, the first Asian-American head coach to win an NBA championship, and Eala, the first Filipina to crack the WTA Top 30, represent the best of what's possible when talent meets heritage, meets determination. Their embrace wasn't just a photo opportunity. It was a passing of the torch, a recognition that both carry the hopes of a nation wherever they go. Now Eala returns to the Miami Open, the tournament that launched her into global stardom, facing the pressure of defending 390 ranking points and the possibility of a rematch with Iga Świątek. But whatever happens on court, she already has something that rankings can't measure: the respect of a legend, the love of millions, and an invitation to the NBA playoffs. Was this the most heartwarming crossover moment in sports? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to Rally Radar now for daily WTA news, match breakdowns, and stories that go beyond the scoreline. Because at Rally Radar, every day is match day.